Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trek Canon. Yes, it's been quite some time since I've had the opportunity to sit and talk about some Star Trek. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that was kind of happening before Earth became a paradise. Um, a lot of people seem to think that after the events of first contact, that the Vulcans came down to Earth and that all of the wars, all of the issues and idiosyncrasies and shortcomings that humans had went away because, hey, we know that we are not the only people that's in the galaxy. But see, here's the thing. All right. You got to understand that the human condition is it's a hard thing to change. It's a hard thing to modify, right? If anything, based on the historical things that humans have done, once they had realized that it was aliens amongst the stars, it would have actually went more like what happened in the mirror universe with the Tarns. Okay, so believe it or not, what happened in prime timeline, okay, or prime universe, prime dimension, or prime parallel, however you want to word it, is actually an optimistic view of what humans of that time would have done if the Vulcans had landed, talking about some, hey, y'all, peace and recycle, or I'm sorry, peace and long life. But anyway, I digress. But you got to understand that there was a very long time between first contact and when humans decided to become paradise. A lot of people might seem to think that it was right before the formation of a United Federation of Planets, by Archer, as what happened in the events of Star Trek Enterprise, right? But let me tell you a story because here's the thing. Star Trek, the original series aired chronologically. Well, aired way before Enterprise, but as far as chronologically in the Star Trek timeline, is roughly 80 to 100 years after the events of Enterprise. All right. Now, here's the thing. There was this. It brings me to this one particular episode that will showcase that even as humans were establishing themselves after about 100 years in space travel, getting along with the Vulcans and all of these types of things, trying to, carry forth the values and culture of the Federation into space. Even during this time, right, you had situations where Federation citizens who weren't Starfleet were going out and making colonies and going to populate these all these new worlds and all. It was, like they said, the final frontier. You got all these humans going out doing these things. Now, the thing is that we know that these types of individuals have been shown throughout canon. All right, there have been all types of individuals in canon where they'll run across, oh wow, we didn't know that this ship ended up this far away and everything, and well, we didn't know that this culture, oh these are humans from way over here. You're right. Here's the thing. I'm gonna talk to you about this guy named Kodos, the murderer, Kodos. Anyway, Kodos. That's his name, Kodos. Kodos was a governor, right? He is from the episode Conscience of the King, season 1, episode 13. Don't quote me on that, but as you know we Canaanites here. We all Canaanites. Anyway, the episode Conscience of the King from the original series. I wanted to talk a little bit about Kodos and that episode because there's so much to unpack in that episode, and I don't think it gets the attention that it deserves. The actual breakdown of all of the dynamics and depth that's in this episode. Not to mention the great acting that's from everybody in this episode. So let's talk about a short synopsis about what's going on in this episode. And what's going on in this episode is this. Basically, Captain Kirk gets basically this hail from an old friend of his that he used to know back on the colony before he became Starfleet. All right. And his hail is basically like, yo, man, we found this. I found this way to do this food, man. It'll be useful to the Federation, everything like that. It makes it super grow. I just need you guys to come and, verify it and everything like that. And if it's good, man, and plus you get to come and see an old friend. Also, we got this outstanding theater, man, and they doing this play called Macbeth, man. Look, it'll be a whole big thing, man. We have this party. It'll be great. All right. Now, the history that Captain Kirk and this gentleman is that they were part of this colony where Kodos was governor. All right. Anyway, long story short, they ended up having this food shortage, and they tried to contact the Federation for assistance, but it was going to take too long for the vessels to get there. In which case, all 16,000 of the colonists would have starved. Now, here's the thing: what Kodos decided to do was basically murder 8,000 or half of those colonists to basically preserve food so that the other 8,000 could live until the Federation ships arrived with food. Now, of course, this made him a war criminal amongst the other 8,000, okay, and amongst the Federation and people who came. So he ended up going into hiding, man, trying to get away, pretend that he ended up dying. All right, now, one of the survivors of this was Kirk and his homeboy. And his homeboy was like, yo, basically, I think that the dude that's I think his name is Caridian. I think that the dude that's doing this Macbeth, the leader of this troop, man, I think that this dude is Kodos, the governor, man, and his whole ruse was to bring Kirk there so that Kirk could see it for himself and they could finally get some justice. Now, I'm not gonna get too far more into that episode. Kodos, Caridian has a daughter now. Riley was also one of the survivors, and Riley is on the ship. Basically, Kirk gets the troop to come onto the ship, and basically, like, yo, I escort you guys to where y'all gotta go. He set it all up to where, he set it up in a real cool way. Didn't tell nobody, even Spock. All right, so he's trying to figure this out. Now, the thing is that some of the layers that I wanted to get to in this particular episode is pretty simple. First, you have the was Kodos right? Okay. As governor, would you have made the same decision as Kodos, or would you have found another way? All right. Now, we don't know how long it would have taken the Federation ships to get there, and I'm pretty sure they probably didn't either. And even if they did, it was still determined in the episode that it would have taken too long, and all of them would have starved to death. All right. But when we talk about Federation principles and a paradise that the Federation is supposed to have, it's people like this, and there are so many other examples besides Kodos from Conscience of the King, but we're talking about this right now. But anyway, there's so many other examples throughout the Federation canon that shows the actual side of what we call humanity now. Now, here's the thing. One of the other things that this episode talks about is forgiveness, how time heals wounds. Respect and honor a family and the lengths that you would go through to protect them and their legacy. It goes into mental health issues. It goes into Macbeth and Hamlet with some pretty fine theater acting, I should say so myself. It goes into conspiracy. And like this episode, like I said, is layered in so much. It goes in betrayal because of the situation that Kirk puts Riley in. So if you haven't seen this episode, this is one of those episodes that you sit back and you watch and you give actual thought process to give a look at what's going on under the surface of this finely written and finely acted episode. So if you guys watch it, let me know, put it in the comments. And also, speaking of comments, thank you guys for letting me get to 600 subscribers. I think I'm at 602 now, man. Thank you guys. I really appreciate that, man. I really enjoy making content for you guys, and I really enjoy that you guys like watching my content. So as always, I know I haven't said it in a while, so if you know it, as always, peace, recycle, and say the whales. You guys be cool.